The iPad
Here's
Pro.
what you need to know about the
It
iPad Pro.
It is 13 inches diagonally, 1.57 pounds. If you compare it to an old original iPad, it's almost twice as big. It's got the A9 chip in it, which is 2.26 gigahertz, 1.8 times faster than an iPad Air 2, and it's got 4 gigs of RAM, and it can edit 4K video. So Apple came out with the Apple Pencil at the same time they came out with this giant iPad. And if you're a creative person, it's a lot of fun to have the pencil. If you want to draw things, the pencil is very sensitive. Like, it's sensitive to pressure. If I push hard, it makes a big line. If I push soft, it makes a little line. Turn it sideways, it makes a fat line. You can paint with it, paint sideways, paint lines. So it's very sensitive. So if you know what you're doing when you're drawing and painting, this thing is fantastic. And when you're using the pencil, if you put your hand on the screen and draw, there's nothing that happens with your hand. And you can actually even use your finger to blur stuff, which is pretty cool. So definitely, if you're an artistic sort, the Apple Pencil is pretty awesome on this. I would recommend it. The screen resolution is 2732 by 2048, which is pretty amazing. So if you have pictures that are super high resolution, like this one I took on my DSLR, you can really zoom in and see the details. You know, if you want to see this little tiny person, you can zoom in and get a good look at them. The camera itself that comes with this is not as good as this picture that I've taken. I think it's a 9 megapixel camera or something. So Apple's got to upgrade their camera if they want it to be good enough for this display. Photoshop works great on the iPad Pro. I wanted to take some of the things out of the background on this picture, so I removed everything and came up with this. So you can see the poles out of the background. I blurred things. I shaded around the edges. So from that to that you can do on here. It really helps to have the pencil to do that sort of thing. And here's just another example of Photoshop retouching. So this is the original picture, and then this is the Photoshop version. I've edited 4K video on this and it worked great, and I've plugged my GoPro in with the camera connector kit and edited GoPro video, as you can see here. So that's me push starting my motorcycle. And it works great. So video editing, it's nice to have a little more extra space to edit in. The speakers are very good. I've got the volume turned all the way up, so you know, it's kind of hard to test it without actually being here, but I watch movies on it and things, and it's perfectly fine. So if you hit this, hopefully you get the idea that the sound is all you'll need unless you're trying to have a house party. The one accessory that I did not buy is the Apple keyboard. They've got a keyboard that's maybe 150 bucks that goes along with this. Plugs into the side of it and it's real smooth. But if you don't want to spend that kind of money, I bought this Tizumi, T-Z-U-M-I, Bluetooth keyboard for 15 bucks that pretty much works the same. You just connect it via Bluetooth, and then if you want to do a search, you can go ahead and do a search, and everything works the same as the Apple keyboard would. So if you're not interested in getting the official Apple keyboard, or if you only use it every once in a while like me, then just a cheap Bluetooth keyboard is going to work just fine. Though I have tested the real keyboard at the Apple Store, and it is fantastic. So the final question is it worth the money? And the final answer is, what do you do? Do you consume or do you produce? If you consume and you don't ever do anything, then no, just get the regular iPad. If you like to draw pictures and make videos and do productive things, then yeah, absolutely, it is worth it.